Right. There's another week and another race here in League of Ireland for Tier 3. Today it will be racing around Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. My name is Josh Nair 6000. Here alongside me as always is Cav. How are we today, Cav?
Really good, Josh. Really looking forward to this one. Obviously, really simple track in a lot of ways, but obviously really complicated in others. So, looking forward to some good racing. Hopefully, today as the championship starts to take shape.
Yeah, indeed. It'll be a fantastic race today, hopefully. Right, so I'm down on the paddock. I have someone with me today by the name of Aaron Sully in a Ferrari. Aaron, how are we doing today? How are we feeling for this race?
I'm not too bad, Josh. How are you getting on?
Not too bad at all. So, are we confident today?
Uh, I'm all right. Like I know I'm not the fastest, but if I keep the head and keep it clean, I reckon I can get into the points.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way to
So
do it, especially in a track like this where there'll be surely a few safety cars. Now, I
yeah.
think we were talking to your teammate there last week.
hmm
No team orders at Ferrari. How do you think that that fight is going to go throughout the rest of the season? Do you think you have any even chance of beating each other today?
Right, yeah, we're both good drivers. Like I wouldn't mind having a few team orders in, but I probably I probably have to make the first move on that. But like, it's grand out. I, I'm I'm good enough for it, Glenn. So hopefully we can get good points now today.
Of course, yeah. And your first race in Britain was a good result. Do you
Yeah.
think the rest of the season you can keep the good results coming, or how do you feel for the rest of the season as a championship as a whole?
Alright, I like to think that, yeah, but the plan is to get into the points
Yeah,
more than half the season anyway,
it's good.
and yeah, hopefully anyway.
Yeah, it's good to keep it consistent. Anyway, thank you very much, Sharon. We will let you get
Alright,
ready
sound lads.
down, get ready for the race. Right. So, Cav, I believe you have someone yourself there.
Do indeed. I'm with Mr. Shamrock. How are we, Sham?
How's it going, Kev? How are you?
Not too bad. Long time no speak. I think the last time we spoke directly, we'd ran each other off the track in probably what was Tier 4 at the time. How are you keeping?
It was, yeah, Spain. I remember it well. No, 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 that wasn't you. That was Kay Flemmo. That was a different guy
It's always one of
altogether.
us. How are you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm doing good. I'm kind of nervous for tonight, I won't lie. The wheel is taking a lot to adjust to.
Yeah, you've switched over recently, and how you find it overall? Do you feel like you're back to where you were maybe on controller pace, or do you still think you're a little bit behind? I know it's a slow transition usually.
I think it depends on the track, but like
Hmm.
for Monza to be, for example, I'm about 6 tenths slower
Right.
around the track on the wheel. Um, but just give it more time and hopefully I'll get better on it. But no, it felt good last week now. In Mexico, I was up in the points. Uh, then Ryan Kern appeared out of nowhere, and pretty much that says the rest of it. But yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, of course, and obviously nice to have you back on the grid, and Tier 4 champion. It's always great to see them come out and make that step up. For yourself in Tier 3, obviously after winning the championship last season, what are you hoping to do, or where are you hoping to, I suppose, place yourself? Bearing in mind, obviously you're learning the wheel as you go as well.
Yeah, to be honest, this season isn't about like getting a championship. It's more getting experience on the wheel. I said that from last week.
Hmm.
That I was this is just league racing to build up um, the experience on the wheel. It's not to win races or go for a championship. Last season was pretty tough.
Yeah.
Um, so I'd rather just ease on, get some practice now on the wheel going and see how things goes. If I get points, I get points, but I'm not expecting anything major, like.
Yeah, and bearing in mind, you said yourself you're 6 tenths slower on the wheel tonight. What is kind of your aim? You just hoping to maybe finish in the lower points positions, or
If
what do
I
you
can
hope
get
to do?
points or like something like a P6 or 7 would be great, honestly.
Brilliant stuff, brilliant. And I know you're doing great work with your own league out there, URC as well. Do you want to give that a quick plug?
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, URC is doing great.
Hmm.
Tier 2 started off last week, so happy days with that, and it was a good race. Tier 1 starting this week now, so
Brilliant.
happy days with that.
Great stuff. Well, you're a busy man race-wise. Good luck, obviously, with the URC, and good luck on the race tonight.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Kev.
Right,
So,
Josh.
thank you very much, Shamrock. Good luck for the race today. Now, we have, once again, another analyst. I think we can call this one an expert as well. We have Mr. Ice Cold Andy. How are you today, Andy?
Very, very well, gents. What about yourselves?
Not too bad at all, not too bad.
Yeah,
Now,
good.
of course, you've been with us before, but in case someone doesn't know who you are for whatever reason, let them know. Give yourself a little introduction.
Yeah, just the current tier one champions. So
Not too big.
No
yeah,
big, no
just
big deal.
No big deal.
Going into this season. Yeah, obviously had a good race at Mexico last week. So yeah, looking forward to my own race on Tuesday nights.
Of course.
But yeah, and then obviously also just I did a podcast with Colin the other day. So if you want to check that out, I'll put the link in.
Perfect. Now, Andy, going into this race, we've seen a couple races from these lads here. Is there anybody in particular who catches your eye who you think might be able to snag a good result today?
Yeah, no, I think there's definitely a few people to look out for. Obviously, you've had your two winners so far, Darbra and Gaffo. Definitely two people to keep an eye out on. But then also you've got the likes of Bluefoot. I imagine like Sully and Femo will be there. So yeah, I think it's going to be quite an open race, and then Monza is going to be the sort of circuit as well where if you don't break the 1 second window, it's going to be extremely difficult to get away from people.
Exactly.
So
That is very true. Now, well, qualifying is starting now. Thank you very much, Andy. We'll make sure to come back to you at the end of qualifying. And yeah, it would be definitely an interesting one because invalidations here can be a big factor, like we had in the last few weeks. So
For sure.
definitely be an interesting one today. You can get the best lap without invalidating.
Yeah, it's an awful lot can go wrong around here, and as I said earlier, simple track when you look at it from above, but you get into the intricacies of the curbing and the different DRS zones, and as Andy said, that 1 second window, there's an awful lot that can go wrong, and obviously side-by-side racing as well around here. A lot of the corners now with these wider cars are even tighter than they've ever been, turn 1, turn 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely is. And first man out, Mr. Gaffo, looking for a bit of spotlight, and Darvra has retired. He doesn't
Yeah,
have a
Darver
quali
carrying a
band.
quali band tonight,
Oh,
Josh, so
yes.
he won't be making an appearance through qualifying, but obviously
Nope.
he will be in the race and has a lot of work to do. Thankfully, it's a track where obviously you can overtake. Lots of space out there, so be interesting to see how he gets on.
Yeah, that turn 1 is definitely your best overtaking opportunity with the big long straight before it, but going side by side through there often has cars having a little bit of argy-bargy, as Maya Man would say.
Exactly.
But, we have a lot of cars out on outlaps at the moment. Of course, once again, first one being LG Gaffo.
Last week's race winner, of course. Drove a really, really good race around Mexico.
Yeah, so he's looking for another great result here today.
He is. I wonder what AI he plays on. Controversial subject of late. But yeah,
Coming
looks
around
like
the last
we'll
one.
have a dry session anyways, which is a good start.
It is indeed. So let's kick it off here with a lap with Cav with Gaffo.
Yeah, so DRS wide open down the main straight. You'll be approaching almost 350 kilometers depending on setup. Sometimes you'll break that even, and as you break down heavy into turn 1, you want to just clip the inside curbings but watch the outer sausage curbs, the dark orange ones. Takes it really smoothly in fairness as he comes up through the gears. You want to keep as far to the right here as possible without scrubbing too much speed, just to shorten the track. And similar to turn 1 and 2, now 4 and 5 come together. You don't have to brake as heavy, usually down into third gear. Again, watch that inside curb. He takes second for an extra bit of rotation. That's fine, carries good speed through. And now into Lesmo 1, usually dropping into 5th gear, which he does. Watch the inside curb because it can bring the rear of the car around. Second part of Lesmo, usually 5th as well. And steady on the power as you approach the second DRS portion of the track. A lot of overtaking, I'm sure we'll see down here into Ascari. And as he breaks down, usually into 5th, you can take as much of that inside curb without hitting the hazard sausages. And Gaffo loses the rear and ruins my lap preview.
Your lap.
Absolutely, I was enjoying that lap. I felt like I was driving quite well. And he has actually, it looks like, beached himself, which is problematic and can happen around here quite easily with some of the sausage curbs. But yeah, all that was left for him was to take it through the exit of Ascari and then into Parabolica, another tricky corner on traction, it must be said.
Yeah, and just a heads up for anybody who's listening to the stream while they're racing. You are allowed to reset to the track if you are beached. On those curbs, only if you're beached and not able to move, you'll have to, of course, give your footage. But you are allowed to reset to the track if you're not able to move. Just a little heads up.
So, at the moment, as much as it kills me to say it, Kachiga setting the pace with a 21.0. So we expect those times to come down. I suppose we're probably going to see at least low 20s, if not, I'd say into the 19s. But
and there's a 20.2 for Bluefoot. And can that be beaten by DK F1 or DK Phone, depending on where you're from?
Yeah.
Coming around the last corner. DK crosses the line at 21.5, so seems like a pretty good lap from Bluefoot so far as a banker.
Yeah, absolutely. Sanko has retired, should be just known, on track, so he had an accident on the way out of Ascari, I believe. We didn't catch that.
Aaron Sully now in the last sector, coming up to the last corner, who we had a chat with earlier on today. Will that curse carry on to him and to Shamrock as well? Let's see if he can get a good lap to help himself in the race. Aaron Sully crossing the line and gets a decent lap at 21.2.
So a big jump between Bluefoot and the rest of the field at the moment. Aaron Sully, it should be noted, is in the sole Ferrari at the moment. We are missing one driver in Glenn Mack, his Ferrari teammate. Well, he drives to the Ferrari. I don't know if they're quite teammates yet, but we've heard there might be an olive branch been extended. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yellow's in sector 2, that's all fine. So, a few drivers with bankers. I would assume Mayo has more than a 140 pace in him. We'll see.
You'd hope. So
You
there's
would.
a 20.7 by JT, we'll call him that. A lot of random letters. Here's-
007, I'm going to make it easy for you.
And Kay Fleming with a 20.4, not a bad lap at all. 2/10 off the current provisional pole.
Flemo having another good banker in quali. We've seen the same last week in Mexico, where he started qualifying very well. So continuing that run of good form. And Mayo into the pits, so he's not going to set another lap now.
Last man out on a lap now is Blue Gunner. To set his first lap very slow through Ascari, taking it easy. Ooh, I think he's a bit lost. He's gone over the curb and validated his lap there. I think he might have a wing damage. Yeah, he doesn't have a wing, so he's not lost. He just cannot turn his car. So I wonder where he picked up all that.
Yeah, it's only 11 corners around here, but they are indeed tricky and very easy to, very easy to lose traction. Some of the high-speed corners, you get yourself just slightly out of shape, and it can mean trouble. So Blue will have to go again, and we have Ryan Curran on an outlap at the moment. So
Mr.
he
105.
is, Mr. 105, and of course someone that has shown great pace so far this season, but hasn't really been able to get the most out of it. As we have him passing a car on the exit there. Was that Rory Drain? No, I'm not sure who that was. Oh, it was Bluefoot. Just recovering there in Parabolica. Into the pits he goes.
The Haas now, coming out of Ascari. See what kind of a lap he can set with Carl. Look like a clean Ascari section. Just before our first DRS zone. Let's see if he can get us a little bit wide out on the left hand side. Let's see, he's going to cross the line. Carl's going to pick up 121.3, P6 so far, so not a bad lap from Carl.
Yeah, so another driver in the 21s, but there's only the 3 in the 20s at the moment. So a bit of field spread, which we're not used to in this tier, as the Fonz goes into the 20s with a 20.9, so return to form for the Fonz. Obviously drove a good race in the main last week. And now Ryan Curran in Sector 3. What sort of pace has he brought this week?
I wonder if it's 105 pace. Let's see.
Could be. Maybe he's quicker when he's chasing the 105 AI, who knows? We'll see now as he comes and keeps the car to the right hand side. Making the circuit
And it
shorter
is 105
at
pace.
20.1. Yeah, very nice for a banker from Ryan.
So provisional pole for Ryan Curran.
Yeah, And we have an Alfa Romeo on the exit of Ascari around. I think that's Gaffo, and I think that's Gaffo out qualifying, you know?
It is. Yeah, Gaffo is gone. Poor Gaffo.
So, Ascari claims another victim. That's a few already, and I'm sure we'll see more. Oh, Shamrock loses it in Parabolica, which is not completely unheard of, but probably one of the more steady traction
Just
zones.
needs to get out of the way of the cars behind him, though, he does.
Yeah. So Shamrock will be disappointed with that, and the cursor coming in to talk to us continues.
Just indeed. I think people
Maybe
are
it's just
gonna-
talking to me. I haven't been keeping track of this fully, but maybe it's just the ones who talk to me, because Aaron Sully's getting on fine. But yeah, so a lot of drivers on outlaps again, including Bluefoot and Flemo, who are right up there in terms of pace at the moment.
Here's someone who can snap pole here. Yeah, and he is.
And
Nolan.
does. Wow.
With a 20.0, a very good lap, just ahead of Ryan Curran. Fantastic lap from the Williams there.
Absolutely. Really, really good from Nolan. Has certainly continued to improve since the tail end of last season, and shown really good qualifying pace so far this season as well.
As indeed. We have Bluefoot now starting a lap, along with Kay Flemo as well.
Yeah.
So a few people
And,
who have started laps.
Main man JT007 in the Aston. When you find an easier way to refer to him, I'll hear it.
Yeah.
Takes 4 and 5 really nicely, really smooth. A little bit of traffic in the Lesmos, but not going to cause him too much
Oh, was that
issue.
someone to the left of him there? No, it wasn't. I'm seeing things. So I wonder if that car ahead of him is on a lap. I don't think it is. But might hamper him a little bit.
Mm.
And Blue Gunner out. He has crashed in sector 2, I believe. Oh, and JT's round
He is. He's
just
lost
after
the rear.
invalidating his lap. And
Those
spun it
curbs in
round.
Ascari are
Mm.
claiming a good few victims. You have to be so careful
Yeah,
going onto them and coming off of them.
you
And
definitely
yeah,
do. Now
another
Bluefoot and Kay
person
Flemo
out.
coming around into the final sector, coming up to the final corner. What kind of a lap can these lads set? They're very close to pole position at the moment. Can they get provisional pole from LOI Nolan? See now as Bluefoot crosses the line. And
So he does improve, but only by
Just about
100 as
improves.
Flemo comes to the line, and no,
does he improve? I think he improved slightly from a 20.4.
Yeah. doesn't jump though. So
Top
No
4
movement
times
so far.
seem very spread from P5 and 6. Top 4 seem in a league of their own at the moment.
Yeah.
Let's see, will that change? JT around once again on the entrance of turn 1 or turn 2.
So we've Mayo after setting a 21.4. Good showing from Mayo, stepping up obviously from tier 4 as a reserve. So putting in a good lap. We know Mayo's good pace. It's keeping it in the right direction can be the trouble, but so far good showing. And Rory Drain coming to the line. He's at 5/10 up, and he jumps to P6 at 20.9. So another car into the
Yeah,
20s.
to the 20s. Not bad from him.
No. And when you see Rory Drain up high in qualifying, that's scary because he's
Yeah.
similar to Kachiga. He just tends to always gain positions in the race.
I think there's something up with DK here. I don't know if he's left the session. He's gone straight on into the gravel. And it's looking a bit strange.
Yeah, DK are man from down under, and at the moment, Internet looks to have gone the same route. So we're probably in that sweet spot now where drivers are finishing their second attempt, and we should see a flood of cars out for the last runs in the next couple of minutes. Yeah, Tommy making a good point in chat that a lot of the lads are struggling with the low wings even. I've seen a picture of a ring in the chat earlier, has me distracted. But yeah, maybe lads just aren't as used to having that lower downforce setup, particularly going through the likes of Ascari and Parabolica.
Possibly.
Very dangerous. But
Sully.
we've seen a lot more mistakes than usual.
Finish a lap. Aaron Sully now jumps up into P6. Another car into the 20s. So we have 8 out of the 19 into the
Yeah.
120s at the moment, so I'm sure we'll see a few more jumping into them as the last few cars get their times in within the last few minutes. 4 minutes now left in qualifying, just over 4 minutes. So again, yeah.
So plenty of time. Short lap
Yeah.
here, obviously,
Yeah,
by
yes, indeed.
relative terms. So loads of time to get out and get around for that last run when the track is at its peak.
Bluefoot has gone round.
Yeah, so championship protagonist struggling at the moment, and he'll have to dive back in and hopefully he has a third set of softs to use.
I think he was on an in-lap, I believe. He'll have enough time to get another lap in. And so will most of the lads here. Nearly everyone's in the pits or on an in-lap.
Good evening, Daniel. Good to have you in the chat as always. 42 watching, lads. Hit that button if you don't mind. Every like is a step closer to Josh having better internet. An even bigger potato to connect all the wires into, and that's what's important.
Exactly. Cav, as we were seeing last week now, I think you have a pretty small potato as well. So we might be able to share one.
I'm putting the blame on the host. But as we know, I'm hosting this week, so if it goes up in the air, I'll take the rap for this one.
Yeah.
A few lads out on track at the moment. We've the Fawns now in Sector 2.
Interesting that they're going quite early. They're normally like the track to be as warm as possible, to be as worn as possible to get the best lap you can. But let's see what the lads can produce anyway. I think we have Carl coming around for his last lap.
Yeah. The Fawns now in Sector 3. Steals a little bit of slipstream off the competitor. Into Parabolica. Tidy so far. Struggling with understeer though.
And into the pits he goes. And that'll
Yeah,
be him.
so he's had enough of that one, and yeah, I don't think he's going to get back around unless we've the timing glitch as a whole host of cars flood out onto the main straight. Start their last setups. And I wonder will we see any teammates working together? Slipstream obviously very powerful around here. We know we have a few teammates up and down the grid that don't like each other, but if there is any that do, I wonder will they work together? We'll see. Yeah, it's outlap central at the moment.
It is indeed. I wonder if there'll be any messing about getting to the line. Like we had in the real F1. I don't know how many years ago it was, but a few years ago. Let's see if we'll
Correct.
hopefully we
So
won't get any messing tonight.
Ryan Curran seems to be leading the charge now. Drivers on hot laps. So he's coming into Sector 2. DRS wide open. So far quite tidy. 4/10 over on his best time, so unless he had a massive mistake through Parabolica, he ain't gonna improve here. And that'll be Ryan done. With yellows in Sector 2 and 3, just looks to be traffic management, so that's fine. Yeah, Ryan's abandoning this one, so Flemo at the moment, a 10.5 up. This is going to bring him close, and he's getting a nice slipstream here into the Parabolica.
Indeed, coming in. See, this right-hander is a tricky one to get the power down, and he gets it down very nicely.
JT is spun in Sector 2, so he's not going to improve.
Crossing the line now, jumps one position, but
not
very
enough for
close
P2.
to P1 and 2. Not enough.
So who else have we got? We have Aaron Sully now starting our lap.
So Shamrock crossing the line, and Shamrock with a decent 20.4.
Wow.
Not a bad lap at all from someone who's
6/10 slower on wheel.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder what he'd be doing if he's on the pad. And Bluefoot with a provisional pole of 20.0.
Wow.
A great lap from Bluefoot there, and could that set him up for a pole today? LY Nolan is on a lap currently in Sector 2, so we'll keep an eye on him. DKF1 is now finished in qualifying. He's taken the checkered flag. LY Nolan through Sector 2. He is just beating his previous time by 18 hundredths of a second Does he have a lot of time to gain, as we have Aaron Sully in the wall?
2/10 up for Eloy Nolan. This could be breaking the 19s. Can he keep it together? He takes the Scary really smooth.
This could be
We've lost Mayo Man in between the two Lesmos, just to keep track of everything. And Aaron Sully in a Scary. My God, we're losing lads left, right and centre. So,
Here we go.
Eloy
And
Nolan.
this be pole for Nolan.
It's going to be close. Do we get a 19-8 and 19-9?
Coming across the line, it's
We
a
do.
19-8. Pole position for Nolan. Well, so far anyway, we have a few more lads, I think, to cross the line. JT crosses the line, doesn't improve on his time, and that is that. Yep,
have
that's
we
that.
anyone
Nolan.
left out there? I don't think so.
No, Shamrock is
Shamrock
not
on an in-lap, and that is the end of everyone, really, yeah.
That is Nolan on pole and Bluefoot just behind him.
Wow. So, interesting grid. A few drivers out of position for where you'd expect them to be.
Indeed, yeah.
And interesting to see Kachiga up there in P7. Really good effort from him, 20.5. Really good lap.
Yeah, sneaking it up there. It's a very good lap from Kachiga.
A few drivers just struggling to improve on their bankers. I think JT would be one that's disappointed. Set a really good pace early on and then did move on from there.
So we should be hopefully getting along with it. So we're waiting for, I think, Shamrock to get wheeled into
There
the
you
pits.
go.
There we go. So that is that for qualifying. Cav, why don't you bring us down the order for the race?
Well, indeed. So, taking his first pole position of the season, formerly known as King Papa, we have Eloy Nolan in the Williams. Bluefoot, new to the league and new to the tier this season in P2. Ryan Curran, Mr. 105 AI, P3. We've K Flown on P4. We have Shamrock in P5. The curse of talking to myself and Josh has been broken. DKF1 from Down Under in P6. Kachiga in P7. JT007 in P8. We've Aaron Sully in P9. So both guys that talked to us in the top 10. Take note of that, folks. Jay Carley P10, Rory Drain 11, Defons 12, Carl 13th, Mayo in 14th, Dark Mayhem in 15th. Darver's quali ban hasn't hit him as hard as it might have. He's 16th. Sanko, Gaffo and Blue 17, 18, 19 all retiring during quali without setting a lap.
Yeah, so I think the quali bands worked out decently well for Darver. 4 spots from the bottom. Could be worse.
100%.
I think now is a good time to go to our analysts. Andy, what do you think of that qualifying?
Yeah, no, like I think I was sort of expecting around 19.6, 19.7 or 19.8 for pole. So yeah, roughly where I was expecting it to be. But yeah, like, obviously we got with a lot of the lower downforce setups. Yeah, a lot of people were sort of struggling, particularly on corner exits. As you saw, Scary was lethal for many people. But yeah, no, I actually think certainly personally anyway, in comparison to last year's game, you can certainly attack the curbs a bit more aggressively, which is ironic considering they run a lot lower than the 2021 cars. But yeah, no, I feel you can be a little bit more aggressive, but I think some people just overstepped the mark probably a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it was a great lap from Nolan. We're getting underway now in 20 seconds. So I think if we still have 19 people, I believe you can join the lobby, Andy. And
you can have a front seat view. Just make sure you don't take a car, Andy. I've done that before, and it's a long lap at the back of the field. One I'm very used to from Tier 2, in fairness. But yeah, evening to the Serious Mushroom, one of my favourite names that tends to pop up in the chat every now and again. Second only to Catfish Corey, I think, in my eyes. But we all know my love for the catfish.
Right.
And tyres are the
Tyre
talk now.
choices. Yeah. Top 4 on the mediums. So as expected, yeah, I think mediums would have been my choice as well. And P5 and P6 being Shamrock and DK, both opting for the hards. Then we have the next 3 after that being Kachiga, JT and Aaron Sully on the mediums. And then you have a mix of hards and mediums. More people opting for the mediums down at the bottom.
Yeah, it's an interesting split. We've lost Gaffo from the lobby. Hopefully he can get back in. I'll just ping him an invite. But yeah, turn 1 will tell all. Obviously a good launch off the line is important here, but also keeping it clean, particularly even the lightest of wing damage can cause you a lot of problems around here.
Yeah, exactly. And anybody messing about in turn 1 can definitely send some sort of a butterfly effect on for the rest of them. So one person goes into the back of you, you're going into the back of the next person, so on, so on. So let's see how the lads get on in turn 1. As we have Nolan now leading us off through the second sector, going into the third sector now on this formation lap.
Yeah, Gaffo, you're absolutely fine. You can take control of the car in the formation lap as far as I'm aware, but once the race launches, you're good to go. So just give it until the race launches and you'll be able to get back in, my friend. And yeah,
I think you're better off waiting until the race starts.
I was going to say, yeah, it's probably not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, the AI I think is set to 70, which is probably quicker than I drive, so maybe I should let my AI take over in future. But definitely think at the turn 1 there's always that thing of you'd rather be first or you'd rather be right at the back watching all the carnage unfolds. That middle of the pack is just so dangerous. Like you said, the concertina effect and then the domino effect, it can be very difficult.
It can indeed. Now, as the cars are lining up, we'll be underway very shortly. Nolan on pole with Bluefoot just behind him. It's going to be a drag race to turn 1.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the lads will be fighting to get that early lead and try and gain some sort of a gap between each other.
Really quick before we start, Josh. One name. Who's winning?
Who's winning? I'm gonna give it to Bluefoot.
Oh wow.
Quickly to Bluefoot. And what do you think yourself?
I am going to go for Kachiga.
Chick.
This is a race where you need to keep your nose clean, and I'd say he might, and if he doesn't, the stewards will hear about it, so let's see what happens.
So here we go. I think we have a lights glitch once again. We do indeed. The revs are going up and the lights are blank. The cars are moving. We are a go in Italy. It's a good start from Nolan, but not as good as Bluefoot here as he gets ahead of him even before the braking zone. And let's see further back now. There's a bit of fighting going on here. I think of McLaren going very close to the back of an Aston Martin. A bit of damage in the back as well. A lot of cars making contact with each other.
Bluefoot gets the better exit, so he's holding the lead for now.
Mayo Man
really nice from him.
Ignoring a yellow flag, which is an interesting one. But Bluefoot, yeah, he has taken the lead. And it was a very good start from Bluefoot, and Kay Flemo is just holding on to that P4 now with Jake Harley just behind him as well. But behind Jake Harley is Shamrock. Will he send one up the inside here? He hits the back of him. I wonder if there's any damage on Shamrock's car there. For his sake, there isn't.
Looks okay so far. Certainly looks to be taking Lesmo 2 as normal. And he has a run here on Carly. Seems to be very quick in the straight line, Shamrock.
It's indeed very close to the back.
He's got to have this done before the braking zone, yeah.
Gets it done very quick. Straight line speed for Shamrock there. He's now onto the back of Kay Flemo, who seems to be struggling early.
Yeah.
Oh, and Ryan Curran's round already.
Oh, he is.
Just as you say it, Ascari has taken someone, and it is Ryan Curran.
Ryan having to let everyone pass. And we've Sanko around there as well, so
oh no,
both men not having the qualifying they wanted, particularly Sanko, and now experiencing a tough start to this race.
Yes indeed. Now Mayo Man burning the ERS on the back of Aaron Sully here. Can he get a move done through turn 1? Will we see a dive from the Mayo? I don't think we will. He's a bit far back. He's going to stay behind in that Alpine for now, as Aaron Sully goes a bit deep through turn 1 and 2.
Here comes Carly. Yeah, he's got Shamrock. He's right up the inside here. That's a nice move from Carly.
Right back by him here.
Driving well in the AlphaTauri so far, and we've 2 AlphaTauris in the top 4, so far so good.
Yeah, AlphaTauri having a great day today. And once again, the first Lesmo, there's Shamrock nearly into the back of Jay Carley. We don't have DRS just yet, but let's see if Shamrock, with that straight line speed he has, can he get a run on Jay Carney? It looks like he has gotten a run. He's gotten a great run on him.
Wow.
Moving to the inside. Will they be side by side through Ascari? Not a great place for it. They are going side by side and left just enough room for Jay Carney to back out of it, and P4 is Shamrock's.
Yeah, you don't want to see lads going side by side in Ascari. On the entrance is fine, but someone has to give in, and thankfully Carly did just about. So he keeps going, but he's DKF1 on the back of him now, and as we allow DRS to activate this lap, this is going to get really interesting.
It is indeed, as Nolan still very close to the back of Bluefoot. They seem to have similar straight line speed as each other. DKF1 now close to the back of Jay Carley, so he'll want to try and make a move and make it stick on Shamrock. He'll have the Australian to answer to it, or the man in Australia I should say, to answer to it.
Yeah, we should note as well, Gaffo unfortunately never made it off the start line. Tech issues hitting Gaffo, and unfortunately many glitches in this game. One of them is that sometimes you don't actually get the option to launch, and he hasn't, so Gaffo, one of our championship protagonists, out before it even began.
As Kachiga now going side by side with the Fawns. The Fawns trying to stick a wing up the inside there, but Kachiga has made it work. Is now just behind his teammate in Darvra. But will he get the DRS to be able to keep himself in front of the Fawns? It's going to be very close. Does he get it? No, he doesn't get the DRS. He's going to have the Fawns back at him here.
Yeah, the Fawns going to be by him way before the braking zone, is he? Oh well. Kachiga very
great
fast
straight line speed by Kachiga.
Yeah.
And he's still in front, Kachiga. He's running very low wings today, and he has managed to keep that position. And he will have the DRS for the next straight.
Yeah. So one of the DRS detection points on your way into Lesmo 2, and then the second one, just as we're about to come into Parabolica here.
Just there.
That little line we've just crossed with the Fawns, and if you're within a second, you're going to get DRS all the way down this main straight. And we'll see a lot of moves here today into turn 1. So
slowly gaining onto the back of Aaron Sully here. Doesn't have the speed to make a move on him just yet. He's been behind him for a good while. Aaron Sully just holding onto that DRS to Rory Drain just ahead of him. But a bit of battling here between DK and Jay Carley. Jay Carley has lost a lot of time to Shamrock ahead of him. DK going up into the outside line. And Jay Carley is going to back out with a move, and DK is up into P5.
Yeah, good racing from the two lads. Jay Carley gets a good run, but won't have anywhere to make a move here. But yeah, both lads racing really well and leaving each other in the room, which is great to see. We obviously have these 3 hard tyre runners in the midst of the top 10, so they'll be playing the long game.
Will be indeed. Looking very good at the moment. If there's a safety car late, it definitely helped them out.
Yeah, just to say, lads, Sully's picked up a bit of front wing damage, so his car's going to be understeering like hell through Sky and so on. So he'll have a little bit of a boost in straight line speed.
That's good.
He's going to be struggling.
Yeah. And just as you say it, Mayo Man breezing past Aaron Sully, so getting that move done as Sully struggles through Ascari, just like you said. And we have
safety car.
A full safety car, yeah. And Ascari again.
Yeah. So while we have you here, Andy, why don't you give us your opinions of that start? Was it as you'd expected? Bluefoot taking the lead?
I thought there was going to be more chaos than there was. Yeah.
Sound disappointed.
Yeah. I know. I remember the first year they did that Redifilio back in the early 2000s. It was always chaos like. So, but in recent years it's not been too bad. But I saw a little bit of front wing damage. That could have been Sully or could have been someone else. But decent enough start. If for me, I'd probably wanted to start in the hards, and usually I find you want to go as long in the race as possible. So you do, and then that obviously gives you a tire advantage at the end. But with the safety car now, it's going to be interesting to see what all these guys do. I don't know how long a set of hards can go, but some people may decide it might be worth taking a punt on, and obviously hope that there's not another safety car. Yeah.
So if you were in the top 3 cars, one of them there on the 4-lap old mediums, would you be opting to box right now, or would you be staying out for a little bit longer?
It's sort of in that no man's land window, really. You're sort of damned if you do and damned if you don't. So I guess we'll soon find out. Yeah,
it's definitely going to be a tough decision for the lads ahead. I'm sure Kay Flemo and Nolan will copy whatever Bluefoot does, and I think Bluefoot. He's faked them out. He's going to opt to stay out.
I love it.
Yeah.
Top level shithousery from Bluefoot. And if we've learned nothing else in the last 2 minutes, if you're a tier 1 driver, listen up, including you, Josh. Andy is starting on the hards on Tuesday.
Spoilers.
Or is this the best bluff ever played? Oh, it's hard to know. It's hard to know.
Be starting on soft tires, lads.
Alright, and the Inters as well going on to them
after.
Yeah,
of course.
They're just going to go for a mini sprint at the start, you know.
So now, everyone just catching back up. The field will congest. We have a few drivers opting for that early option. We have JT, Mayo and Aaron. Aaron obviously a no-brainer if he had that wing damage like Andy said. So Yeah, and it's an unfortunate one. It's one of those tracks where even light green damage just absolutely shreds your lap time, unfortunately, and leaves you very exposed on the exit of Ascari. So probably the right option for him, but we'll see. All down to the timing, I guess, of the future safety cars.
Exactly, as Andy said, it's definitely a very tough decision. It's an easy one for the hard runners, and this kind of helps them, bunches them back up with the pack, and but for the medium runners, they'd want to get as far away as possible from those hard runners as early as they could, and they did. But now the safety car punching them all back up, and it's not early, it's not late enough to pit off those mediums, so they're gonna have to stay out, and it might kill them later on in the race.
Puts Shamrock, DK, and Jay Carley all in a great position at the moment. As you said, they have the advantage of being on that harder tyre, but they haven't lost any track distance to the three lads out front. And what'll be really interesting on this restart is to see how Kay Flemo gets on. Nolan and Bluefoot were pretty much trading blows in the top two, but Flemo didn't seem to have the same pace, which was surprising. So can he have a better restart this time and hang on to the back of that pack?
Yeah, I think it might have been just a little mistake he made, and then just wasn't able to get that DRS. And because having the DRS on this track is very strong, and if you don't have it, good luck to you catching up to the rest of the cars ahead of you. But yeah, let's see if Kay Flemo can keep up with the two lads ahead of him very quick. Even when they're fighting, even when they're very close to each other, they're still very, very quick. And of course, Bluefoot getting a fantastic start, and he's managed to hold on to that lead from Nolan.
Yeah, and you have to say from Bluefoot again, really consistent, showing himself to be in the top end of the field in another race, so no real issues from so far.
Yeah, he's definitely doing very well today. And someone else doing very well, staying under the radar, is Darvra, up into P8 from P16, so not a bad start. As I see, Mr. Owen O'Connell, W for Darvra. So Darvra has a W now, yeah. So he's it's a good start from him, and Kachiga as well, just staying behind his teammate there, just gonna pull him along as much as he can, and
it's kind of gone unnoticed through his fight back through the field as Darbra's. He didn't really see him come up, but he's made good progress, and he's in good contention here.
Yeah, has his teammate as a rear gunner as well, and can maybe pull a bit of strategy there between the two lads, push each other around the track hopefully. This restart now will be key.
So, the restart is starting back up now. So we do have Bluefoot. Now we know Bluefoot likes a little mind game, as we've seen, trying to fake Nolan into the pits. He's very close to the back of the safety car here.
Yeah.
Let's see when he's going to take off.
Be careful.
Oh, very close up to the line.
There.
And Nolan didn't manage to get a great start, but he does have Kay Flemo right behind him here. Both of them burned the ERS, as well as Shamrock. That's a great start. But Jay Carley now right up alongside DKF1. Very, very late on the brakes there as Jay Carley manages to get ahead. And there's someone gone straight on, I think.
Yeah. And we have,
who's that around?
That's Nolan
It's
around.
Nolan! Oh, that is going to shake up the race completely as Bluefoot. Oh, Sanko, 10-second time penalty for Sanko.
Yeah, don't think he took the chicane.
No, so Kay Flemo's dropped back 2 seconds already from Bluefoot.
Yeah.
There's a huge gap he's already built up now, and he does have Shamrock on the hards just behind him.
Yeah, a few drivers locking up as well into the second chicane, not getting their braking point right, particularly on obviously colder tyres.
Darvra as well, dropping back a couple of positions from Kachiga and Ryan Curran. Does he have a bit of damage, I wonder, Darvra? He's losing a good bit of pace, and that is Carl gone out of the race. Hopefully not another safety car. And it is another safety car. So,
wow.
There we go, we had half a lap of racing and another safety car. So, now moving on to lap 8, going on to lap 9. I'd say it's time for the medium runners to box. I'd say it's worth the risk at the moment. Let's see if Bluefoot is going to do it. And Bluefoot is going to go into the pits. Kay Flemo, I'd say copy. He is into the pits. He goes. Shamrock takes the lead.
I think this is going to be a bit of a disaster for people here on the hards now.
Yeah,
indeed. It's hard to judge whether there's going to be a lot of safety cars on a track like this. You know, it's a simple one, as you said, Cav, but it's definitely the few corners it has, they're all very tricky corners. And yeah, do you think the medium runners make the right decision there, Andy? Would you have opted to go in as well?
Yeah, I think it was about time. Like, I think they'll. Monza never has much tire wear anyway. It's probably the lowest egg circuit on the calendar, so yeah, it should be able to easily get to the end from here, I'd say.
So we have another long safety car period to fill the void with.
Yeah.
This is where we have to think of things to say and things to talk about.
Yeah, so Andy, if you've any singing skills, you can let us know now.
I'll save that excitement for
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And after a few bottles of Buckfast, but there we go.
Yeah, surprisingly for some men on the grid, it makes them 2/10 a lap quicker. Apparently, also makes them spin, unfortunately, which is the offset to it. But
totally wine.
Yeah, exactly. So the Fonz choosing to stay out on his 4-lap old mediums. They're obviously a lot fresher than some of the others, but
still has to stop again.
Curious decision. Yeah, he's going to have to box again. So we'll see what he decides to do. And yeah, the hard runners now kind of caught in a little bit of no man's land. 4-lap runners. Wonder how they're positioned. So JT, for example, what can he do from here now? Can he try stretch those out, I wonder?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see him and Mayo Man on those 4-lap old hards. I'd say with
their
another
mandatory stop gone.
Yeah, so with another safety car, I'd say in a few laps' time, they may be able to stretch those till the end. As you said, not a lot of tire deg. I think Andy said that. I forget who, but whoever said it, there's not a lot of tire deg on a track like this, so they could make it to the end. Very well could.
Some self-proclaimed expert, I believe. But what does he know?
Yeah.
He's on tier 1 champion. Doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so little tire wear here. There was a race Vettel did years ago where he basically just came in on the last lap and pitted because
that's right.
No tire wear at all.
Yeah, jeez.
The legend that is Seb. So Carl has unfortunately been the latest victim of the curbs. Unlucky Carl. It happens. It will happen to many more drivers before this week is out, that's for sure. In probably all tiers you would expect.
Indeed. Tire deg is massive, says Budge. Actually, we'll take his word for it. 2-time tier 4 winner this season. Out of 2 races, to be fair to him. Having a great season so far as Budge, but tire deg
the
is
mighty
massive.
boxing glove Budge.
Yeah.
He'll tell you he's gotten lucky twice, but no doubt he has
Sandbags
moved on in terms
deployed.
of his... Yeah, absolutely.
Heavy.
He's moved on in his pace for sure. Really good driving. Strangely enough for Budge, the more time he seems to spend on Call of Duty, the quicker he gets in F1. So I don't know if there's anything to learn from that, but I'm taking notes.
So, safety car is going to be in this lap. Will we have another half a lap of racing, or possibly even a full lap of racing before we get another safety car? Only time can tell.
And how will Shamrock do this restart?
Man who's not confident today, leading a safety car restart on the hards. So let's see what Shamrock can do. He does have Jay Carley right behind him.
And he's gone.
And he's gone. Jay Carley did get a very good restart compared to him, but Mayo Man has gotten a fantastic one. Nearly alongside JT, but doesn't have the straight line speed compared to the Aston Martin. But the Fonz has great straight line speed alongside the Ferrari of Aaron Sully, going around the outside, the long way around for the Fonz, taking 2 of them, I think.
Yeah.
He nearly took his teammate as well.
And JT's around.
That is JT gone, yeah. He hasn't retired, but a lot of wing damage for him. Aaron Sully is still trying to take that position back, taking the inside line through the long right-hander. Takes it back, P5 for Aaron Sully.
Yeah, JT's front wing looks to be intact. Whether he's green damage or not, only time will tell, but that's really going to hurt his chances of a good result.
Definitely will, as Aaron Sully goes very wide through the first Lesmo there, as the Fonz nearly get an overtake done on him there, and he gets a good run on him on this DRS straight. Unfortunately, we don't have DRS at the moment. The Fonz going to save his DRS for now and stay behind the Ferrari of Aaron Sully.
Yeah, so Mayo putting himself in a good position here, and now leading that
Indeed.
pack of
Ooh,
drivers
and the
on
Fonz
6
is in the
lap
wall
old
and he's
hards.
out. Could that be
Not
another
another
safety
one.
car? And it is another safety car. Let's go.
Lads. Lads,
3/4 of a lap we got there.
I'm running out of stuff here. Right, hang on, the joke book is coming out. My goodness,
Right.
this is awful.
Will anybody
Yeah,
pit here, I wonder? Oh,
Check
there's
how
someone
much
gone into the
there,
pits.
and then that was him.
Shamrock's
Yeah.
into the pits there.
Shamrock's going to
So-
try to take the mediums from here. He doesn't really have much alternative. Although,
Mediums
in
can't
fairness,
go here till
the way
end.
things have been going, he'll probably get another safety car.
Yeah.
He'll probably get a choice of future safety cars at the rate we're going.
And Bluefoot now up into P5, K Flemma behind him in P6, so making some good ground. Two lads in a net P1 and 2.
Yeah. So Gaffo in the chat making his, I think, 7th call for a red flag. It won't be coming, Gaffo, I'm afraid.
Red flag. Interesting.
Yeah. Gaffo would like this race restarted, I imagine. Or started in his case. Suppose he would have had to start it to restart it. But however, JT making his way back out now on fresh mediums and obviously has a new front wing.
Yeah, Sanko's in a real bad situation here because obviously he cut the chicane, which means he can't get rid of those penalties under pit stops. So
Of course.
yeah, he's just gonna have to take a hit at the end of the race. So yeah, I think they better hope that he can make his way up through the field, and then I hope for a few more DNFs to even get a few points. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10
Sanko again.
seconds.
Rather
Impossible
bad
to
luck for him.
shake.
Not a bad look for Sanko once again this season. For Sanko, it's not being a great one. It's not being a good one at all for him. Someone said who we have seen, Jesus, last season, who had great pace, but just doesn't have that consistency. And this season, he just seems to be lacking a little bit. Down P13 with a pretty hefty penalty, set 10 seconds.
Yeah. Sanko obviously transitioned, I believe, onto the wheels, so obviously a learning process for him, similar to Shamrock, but struggling, yeah, that raw pace seems to have left him at the moment anyways. The 10 seconds, who knows what happened there, obviously I certainly didn't see it on board, but is there a chance that could be removed?
He missed the red Filio, so I do think he did try to slow down, but yeah, they gave him it, so it could be something that's could come off. So, yeah.
Be interesting to see. Obviously, a lot of laps to go before then. We are just approaching the halfway point. So, a lot more to come. And yeah, 3 safety cars, 4 safety cars, 5 safety cars. Your sweepstakes, boys. Keep them out. Who knows what's coming?
Paddy Power doing 25 to 1
Oh, wow.
for 5.
So, yeah.
So,
A lot of
15
drivers now
out
fancy
of 19
themselves.
left in this race. Yeah, interested now to see if we can get a full lap of racing after a safety car. It'd be nice.
And obviously at the moment everyone has made their mandatory stop with the exception of the top 2, so from that perspective, Mayo Man in the net lead of this race right now, and this will only help him bring those 8 lap hards to the end.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at the top 2 lads there. It's just interesting that they didn't stop, because with how many laps have we got left? 14. Well, we'll have 13 maybe racing laps. Oh no, we're gonna have 14 racing laps. Just interested that
Optimistic.
they didn't go into the well, yeah. That they didn't go into the pits. It's gonna drop them a lot of positions, especially with these safety cars being so frequent. But Jay Carley is gonna restart it for us once again, and hopefully this is gonna be the last.
Yeah. Everyone weaving heavy behind Jay Carley, who was, I found quite funny, driving in a dead straight line there for a couple of seconds. It was pretty much like, was it Kimi and Bahrain, I think I remember.
It was Kimi,
everyone weaving like crazy, and Kimi's just there driving dead straight down.
Lewis did in Baku as well.
That's right.
So Jay Carley now getting ready to go. He has his ERS on. Hopefully he doesn't spin. He doesn't. We're underway, and it's a great restart from Jay Carley. And Mayo Man has gotten a great restart as well. Nearly alongside DKF1, but Mayo Man doesn't seem to have great straight line speed compared to the rest of the lads here.
He's definitely running more wing.
Well, here we go now. Can he go through the inside of the Mercedes, braking very late, but makes the corner, and a fantastic overtake from Mayo Man.
Yeah, beautifully done by Mayo. Chanel's experience there.
And Bluefoot now
moment, in a great
around the
position.
outside of DKF1. Can he get the move done to put another car in between him and Aaron Sully? Is that someone gone round?
That's Sanko. He's at the back and he's gone around
Sanko
again.
once again. Side by side go Bluefoot and DKF1 with a car ahead of them. It's going to be tricky for them, but Bluefoot comes out on top, and K Flemo has another car in between himself and Bluefoot.
Yeah, so DK moving backwards at the moment, not able to get the heat into those 13 lap old hards. They haven't done many racing laps, so they should still be okay from a DEG perspective, but he's really struggling at the moment and is already outside of Bluefoot's DRS as well when we get that back. If we get that back.
Yeah. Let's just take it easy through here. Don't want to repeat now once again. Ball taken very nicely.
We should probably have a static cam and a Ascari, because the amount of spins and everything else you'd catch in it would be unbelievable. As King Papa, LOI Nolan, dispatching Rory Drain here.
Passing with ease, up into P7 now, behind a net P2. Or maybe not a net P2 anymore, as Aaron Sully and Mayo Man mightn't pin. Let's see now, Nolan. Looking quite quick after his mistake. But Bluefoot as well, looking very, very quick. He's definitely one of, if not the quickest man out there.
And Kachiga and Ryan are side by side into fourth chicane, and Ryan getting out of shape, loses that battle, and he loses another place to Shamrock as well. So Shamrock on those mediums making a bit of progress. He has Kachiga in his sights next. These two have history. Although you could probably say that about Kachiga plus most drivers on the grid. Yeah.
Everyone except Bluefoot, maybe.
Yeah. I'm sure that's coming.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Shamrock, yeah. What pace will he have now in terms of? Oh, and
there you go. That's someone gone, and that's Shamrock. Is Shamrock. And
too much pace apparently.
Yeah, and that's another safety car. Safety car is out. So Jay Carley and DK going into the pits, and dare I say it, Shamrock came in for an interview, and he is now not in this race anymore.
Don't tell anyone that, Josh. Jesus, we're never going to get anyone into the box. But I suppose we're in an interesting window now. Can the guys on those hards make it? You would imagine, obviously, they have a decision to make, like some Mayo and Aaron. They can bring them to the end, but is it worth them taking the mediums? How many positions will they lose? Let's see what everyone does. We have Jay Carley obviously in. Everyone else so far looks like they're staying.
Oh, and DK has stayed out.
You may as well go for it.
Yeah, very interesting strategy call from DKF1 there to stay out. Don't know what his plan is here. Maybe to go onto the softs, but an interesting one to stay out once again. He does have to pit again, but there are 14 drivers left now.
Mediums and a wing change for Dark.
And a wing change for Dark Mayhem. Hasn't been a great race for him. He's been pretty much in the bottom 10 for the majority of the race, if not all the race.
Still, he's out there and he's trucking along, and he's on the lead lap, which I think is what caused him a lot of trouble in Mexico. So improvement for sure. And here's something we can fill the gap with. I see LOI Big Slater in the chat. Andy, how would you fancy a Papa, the former 5-time world championship? And I just to clarify, I mean on F122, not, otherwise. As much as
one day we will race each other.
One day it'll happen. You have never raced, I assume, up to date, have you?
No, I think it was very close actually with the Slovenian lads. I think he was going to participate, and then I was going to participate, but then in the end he couldn't, and neither could I because it wasn't well. So, but it's a pipe dream, lads. So yeah, it's going to be way down the line, or it may never happen at all. We'll see.
100%. Did you fancy a go? Do you think you'd take him?
No comment.
Trying to get him shot.
Oh, Andy!
I think you've made the right call there, Andy. Cavs trying to get people murdered here.
Well, given that Slater can end the stream any second, probably best that you didn't answer, yeah. But that is certainly a tasty 1v1 we'd all love to see.
Oh yeah, definitely. It would be a Andy would definitely give him a run for his money for another championship, but it's something we'd all love to see.
Well, as we know, Andy recently bigging up the fact he was racing Jarno Opmeer, so if he can keep in touch with Opmeer, I'd say you're probably not afraid of too many drivers, in fairness to you.
He's not bad as Jarno. I'll give him that.
I've heard he's alright, yeah.
Yeah, he's not too bad.
He's all right. Yeah, not
He's
too
won
shabby.
a few races.
Yeah.
I believe, actually, the way Jarno tells the story is that he was in a lobby with Ice Cold Andy, so there you go.
Yeah, you know.
Tier 1 LOI champions. So it's
Absolutely.
It was impressed with the console pace, you know. Like, given that it's usually a bit slower than the PC.
Oh yeah, because on the PC you get an extra few tenths, I heard.
And you can run it at a lower frame rate as well, which apparently is better for going over the curbs.
Correct. I think it makes a big difference, I believe, around Monza as well, in particular. So, yeah, an interesting one. And safety car is in, so we've had many of them, but in fairness, they're not staying out too long, which is good. So we're going to get back underway, and 14, I suppose we'll call them survivors at the moment.
14 survivors, yeah, and then as Rando says, burned Maylander for the Tier 3 championship. Not a bad call there from Rando. Definitely could see it. He's had more laps than a few of the lads who have started the race today. Anywho, Mayo Man starting us back up again. Has it been a different driver starting us each safety car restart, or has someone done two? Maybe Jay Carly did two.
Right.
Oh, and it's an early getaway from Mayo, and he's gone. Caught Bluefoot sleeping, but and he's gone.
Around.
Oh no, Mayo Man from the lead, not out of the race completely. He's still in it, but out of the win, out of the contention for the win.
Yeah, and Sanko around and parabolic it again, so Sanko not having a good restart either.
Ryan Curran, very close to the back of Kachiga. Kachiga manages to keep that position for now. Ooh, a little tap there on the rear from Ryan Curran. Gets out of shape a lot there. Manages to keep the car in a straight line for now.
LOI Not Jack had just predicted Mayo to win, so just shows you those courses are alive and well.
Someone else who is alive and well is Aaron Sully up in P5, so let's keep that going, Aaron, to break that curse.
This is like the course of Mayo for Sam.
Yeah.
Or indeed Mayo for Monza, which didn't get very far either.
No, didn't.
Nolan here, all the way over the back of Flemmo, who still seems to be struggling for raw pace.
He is. He's able to keep up with DKF1, and he is on those old tyres, so he just have to stop again as well. So K Flemmo can use that DRS in a couple of laps' time. But Nolan does look like he has great pace at the moment. Get on the curbs there a little bit. K Flemmo. It's not going to help him at all down this long stretch as Nolan has got a great exit, got a great run on him. He isn't going to be using his ERS, but K Flemmo is. 30% less ERS does K Flemmo have than Nolan.
Yeah, and Nolan just hanging on to the back of him, but gets a great drive out of turn 2, and he's going to have him before they even get to 3. This is brilliant from Nolan.
Yeah, great
Picked
patience
his moment.
there from Nolan as Jay Carley gets past JT. So yeah, that was a great overtake by Nolan. He played his cards right, was patient with it, and got the move done. Now his next target is DK Phone. 6 tenths behind him. He will not have the DRS this lap, but he will have it next lap.
And if he has that phone on him, someone needs to call him and tell him he needs to box at some point. And I wonder.
Oh, and that's someone gone.
There's someone else around. Yeah, it's a Merc. Is that Ryan Curran?
It's Ryan Curran, it is.
It is.
It hasn't been a great day for Ryan Curran.
No, Mr. 105 AI needs to engage a flashback here urgently because he is dropped out of the points now, and that's going to hurt his chances.
So, right on the back of DKF1 is Nolan here. He'll have the DRS and have this move surely done before the braking zone, and he'll have 2.5 seconds to catch if he wants a chance at that win. Here we go. Ooh, great straight line speed by DK there. Well, doesn't have DRS, Nolan. He'll have it next time round, but DK managing to hold on to that P2 for now.
And will Nolan do the same trick? He goes, ooh, good exit from DKF1. He tried it. Slower in, faster out by Nolan, but DKF1 had it covered off, positioned the car really well on exit. And with 19 laps on those hard tyres, obviously not all racing laps, but he's still showing good pace.
Yeah, he is indeed. Being very consistent here today. He will have to stop again. Or does he have to stop again? Did he stop in the first lap?
Don't believe he's made a stop. Could be wrong.
Nope.
No stop for him.
No stops, okay. So he does have to stop again, so he's hanging on for dear life for as long as he can. For what reason? We do not know, but I think he might be going onto the softs. Here we go now, Nolan.
I suppose his thinking is if there's another safety car,
Everyone might box.
In the window, everyone's going to box.
Possibly, yeah.
So if that happens, then we'll say we're pretty much it.
Well, I hope that's what he's thinking. Otherwise, I haven't a fucking clue what he's doing. But we'll see now over the last 7 laps. And how ironic would it be if we don't get a safety car after the volume we've had? As Nolan here is a great run, and he's going to have him done early this time.
Yeah.
Great drive out Parabolica, and has it done long before the braking zone.
Just indeed, even maybe close before the DRS zone as well. Up at the P2 is Nolan, 2.8 seconds to catch now if he wants a chance at this win. And Darver and Jay Carley having a little battle here as Jay Carley seems to be getting the better of him so far. A little bit of a lag spike there from his internet, but Jay Carley in P8, Darver now in P9. Kachiga just about holding on to that P7.
Yeah, and Jay Carley on those mediums. How many more places can he make up? He'll be setting his sights on Kachiga next, and Kachiga unfortunately doesn't have DRS to defend with either, so he may get him down into Ascari. We'll see. He takes a lot of curb, Jay Carley, that time around. Just be careful.
Here's Rory Drain now on the back of the Ferrari. Get a move done here. Doesn't look like he has straight line speed for it just yet. He's not going to be using his ERS. He's going to stay behind him until the main straight. Ooh, slightly out of shape is Aaron Sully there. It's a good exit from him out of Ascari. Onto now going down to the final corner. This could be easy pickings for Rory Drain, who's on the 4-lap pressure tyres.
Jay Carley goes for a dive down the inside of Parabolica, and there's contact with Kachiga, and Kachiga's around, and Carley has damage, I think, as well off of that.
Yeah, he did hit the wall. Quite a hefty schmack he took. Here we have Rory Drain now on the back of Aaron Sully. And get the move done before the braking zone. I think he might. Aaron Sully is.
And Kachiga's into the pits, Josh. So he's going in to send in that instant early.
Yeah, and appeal it.
I imagine he will stay out there. Chance still a points with what we've seen so far. Get himself a set of softs and go again. Yep, that's the call. Doesn't have front wing damage, so not too costly.
I don't think there's any front wing damage on Jay Carley either. He's still good to go, even though he smacked the wall. Ooh, I think he might actually very slow through there. We'll find out now going up. Yeah, he definitely has damage. Going very wide as Jay Carley there. Through both the Lesmos, yeah, he has some damage.
Yeah, both end plates intact, but something just not right, and that's going to cost him lap time.
So now a 3-way battle here for P5. Rory Drain, Aaron Sully and JT, possibly even Darva now catching up. So let's see who can get the better of each other here. Aaron Sully still very close to the back of Rory Drain, having gotten overtaken on the previous lap. Doesn't get the best run compared to JT alongside him now. He will have the DRS, they'll all have the DRS, so who has the raw straight line speed? And looks like JT could get it done on Aaron Sully and Rory Drain. 354 kilometers an hour down this main straight.
Wow.
He has a lot of speed, and that's Mayo Man out. He has crashed off Ascari. Will that be another safety car?
It is.
It is a full safety car, so this is going to be interesting. DKF1 is rubbing his hands together, saying thank you very much, Mayo Man.
He still needs the others to play ball here.
Let's
see what he does.
Let's see. I don't know who's going to go into the pits here. It's an interesting call to make.
It's a tough call, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I mean, Bluefoot will set the tone out front, but let's see what everyone does.
Yeah. Maybe Andy, if we get your opinion on this. If you're Bluefoot, are you going into the pits or are you going to stay out on those hards?
I mean, given most likely that the safety car is going to come in probably lap 25. If you're one of the top two, it's probably best to stay out because and obviously they'll not have DRS for 2 laps. So
Yeah, that's
Good
very
point.
true.
Yeah.
yeah, like I mean, so if you're those two, you'd probably want to stay out. Like it's not worth taking the risk. Yeah.
Interesting, thank you, Andy. We'll see now if Bluefoot is going to go into the pits. He's going to play some mind games. Phil,
Yeah,
probably
looks a
only
good
me and
dummy.
you have. Let's see. Ooh, will he go in?
Oh, that was a late one.
Yeah, it was a very late one. He is going to stay out. And
So
just about
DK,
getting ahead
the
is
only man at the moment that's taken up the option. Of course, he has
Jay
to, and
Carley
Carly
speeding.
gets himself 5.
So DK now
painful.
down into 8th position. Not ideal for him, but it definitely could be worse. Definitely could be worse. But he does have a lot of people ahead of him, but a lot of people who are on very, very old tyres. He will be substantially quicker than.
Yeah, so we have another couple of minutes to fill here. This is what we love in commentary.
Safety cars.
And who would have thought Monza would be the track to do this to us? I know it's easy to lose it around here, but
Oh,
as Kachiga gets 5. So has he had enough?
Have any penalties? He is in the pits with a speed and said stay out. Yeah, he's still going for it. He'll probably appeal that. We'll find out very soon.
Speedometer unfortunately does not lie. He'll do well with that one, but he'll argue his case. But yeah.
Safety car driver is Dylan's driver of the day. That's interesting, Dylan. Thanks for that.
Fairness, I think he's the only one that hasn't had at least a spin or a half spin.
Yeah, I think
And
he's
lovely
driven
and
more laps than a lot of people.
smooth that driving style of Burnt as well. So yeah, tire deck looks good. I think
Surely
he
if
could be
you're
on for the
JD
win.
Carley, if you're JD Carley, you may as well pit again and get rid of that.
And get
penalty.
rid of that 5, yeah, absolutely.
And at least you might get you might get a point or two. Like
Exactly, yeah. Good
Yeah,
shout.
That's true. Let's see if he's going to go in here. Jay Carley, I'd say he might stay out.
Would his AlphaTauri engineers be giving him the
Ooh,
advice? They're
who's that
not.
gone
We
in?
do have someone diving in though.
And he has gotten a penalty. And
That's
retired.
Sanko.
he was
Sanko
lap
has
down.
had enough.
Oh, he
No.
was left there. So, Bluefoot now leading the race once again, with Nolan just behind him. So, and Kay Flemmer. So 1, 2, and 3 haven't changed. So it's back to the second lap here. As
Yeah.
top 3 lads are back where they belong. As Rory
Yeah.
Drain has snuck his way up there as well, up the P4.
Always does. He just appears out of
Yeah.
nowhere,
Yeah.
Rory, but such a crafty driver, Rory. But DKF1, P8, how much progress can he make now in the last? Well, we should have 2 racing laps, we would hope. Be interesting to see. And yeah, Gerald just pointing out that I will, after all of these safety cars, probably spin on Wednesday. I don't think there's any probably about it. I'd say it's the number of spins. Hopefully, if I'm going to have many, that the fourth one just takes me out. But we'll see.
So 2 lads behind Kachiga and 105 still have to catch up.
We should know pretty shortly. Usually just after or just
Here we
before
go.
Ascari. One or the other. Yep, there we go. Happy days.
In this lap led by Bluefoot. We started by Bluefoot here. Let's see these last 2 laps. Let's see what kind of drama they can bring us.
Absolutely.
And might I add, Aaron Sully in P6. Just putting it out there. Came in and he hasn't crashed yet. But let's see now,
Yes, been
Bluefoot.
the operative word.
He's Bluefoot. He's going to start us very late again. Oh, he's not gone yet.
He is.
Here we go.
He's gone now.
Gone
And Flemmer's
now.
got a great restart in
He
comparison
has.
to LOI Nolan.
Nolan hasn't gotten a great one. Kay Flemmo could take this P2 off of him. If he gets it
Yeah.
early, he could have it.
And
they're gonna
Flemmo's in
be side by
Bluefoot
side.
slipstream, so that's going to help him along as well.
Here we go. Who's going to break later? Kay Flemmo is breaking later, and he has gotten the move done for now. But LOI Nolan, nearly lost the car. The both of them nearly losing the car, and JT was cutting the chicane and spun. So,
And Sully has moved up to P5.
K
I
Flemmo.
believe DK hit the back of JT and
Ooh.
sent him
no.
straight on, and then DK's now got front wing damage. Yeah.
It's unfortunate for him. So K Flemmo now has lost that P2.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so he will stay there unless Rory Drain can grab the podium off him here. He's looking very quick. There will not be DRS for the end of this race.
DK's damage is quite severe. He's missing an end plate, so he's really going to struggle now.
Yeah, could have Ryan Curran, his teammate, going by him. DK still quite close to Rebecca Darver here.
The top three have all fallen away from each other very, very quickly, so Rory the only one really staying intact at the moment.
Yeah, that's the interesting one now for the battle for this podium between the Red Bull and the Haas. They've one last lap to do it. Who's going to have the better straight line speed down this main straight? And Rory Drain isn't going to burn any of his ERS. Not a lot, no laps left to save it, so he is going to hold on to it though, maybe for another straight.
Rory might just be happy with his day's work. Good result from him, in
possibly.
fairness. As JT gets 5 seconds, he's surely heading in to retire, and he does, leaving us with 11. And Dark Mayhem at the moment on for his first points of the season. Great to see new lads scoring points, so well done to him for sticking in there. He should jump 2 positions as stands. Leaving Kachiga is the only driver finishing not to score points. Just shows you what happens to my predictions.
Yeah. So DK, with that damage, has his teammate on the back of him here. Could get a late move done. Orion doesn't have any or any URS. DK does. Ooh, nearly hits the back of him there. I think just some light contact, but nothing major. I don't think there's going to be any moves done except for Darver going for
Aaron.
on Aaron Sully.
Aaron has a little bit more in the straight line. Ooh,
Ooh,
spike of internet
He's
there.
going to keep it there, but here we have Bluefoot. He's slowing down to Weave. He is celebrating his victory in Italy. It was a great race from him, with Nolan with a P2 and third place for K Flemmo and Rory Drain with that P4 sneaking up there.
Wow, what an eventful race, we'll call it.
Yeah, well, that's a word I wouldn't use, but yeah, eventful for the safety
Eventful or
car
race?
driver maybe.
Race, yeah. Fair enough.
Sanko wants a tier 5 made for him. So, a great win from Bluefoot there. Why don't you take us down the finishing order, Cav?
Yeah, so championship protagonist, Bluefoot. We've spoke to him a few times already this season. We're going to speak to him again. He's our P1 finisher today. LOI Nolan in P2 and K Flemmo rounding out the podium in the Red Bull in P3. Rory Drain, P4 for him. Great day's work for Rory. And Aaron Sully, breaking the curse of speaking to myself and Josh on the grid, P5. Darver in P6, keeping himself in contention. DKF1, recovering to P7 after late contact damage. Ryan Curran, P8, Dark Mayhem now in P9, and then Jay Carley in P10 rounding out the points. We've Kachiga in P11, and that is all that finished. JT gets classified as he completed 90% distance, and we lost Sanko, Mayo, Shamrock, Defons, Carl, Blue Gunner, and Gaffo. My god, it's like a Monaco hit list rather than a Mongo one, but there it is.
Yeah, definitely was a chaotic race there. And Andy, why don't we get your opinions on driver of the day for today? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a pretty easy one.
Yeah.
Bluefoot's just completely controlled the race. Didn't put a foot wrong, and while it was destruction derby all around him, he very much avoided all the war.
Yeah, definitely. I would tend to agree with you there. So if we wait for the rest of the lads to get in now.
Yeah. And if Dark Mayhem is floating about and listening, he's more than welcome to join us. Just make sure your audio is shared if you're going to come in, as he scores his first ever points in LOI. So big congratulations to him, and we might get a quick word with him if he has time. And we're even getting out of the lobby, so great day all around.
Yeah.
This is treats for everybody. A chaotic race sees a calm end. So, waiting on Flemo, obviously. And then, I don't know if Eloy Nolan has a mic. I think we've been stood up before, but I could be wrong.
You have a mic in the PS5 controller, just join with that. Be grand. No excuses now. Oh, there's Nolan.
There is Eloy Nolan, so great stuff. And we just wait on Kay Flemo. If I know my cousin has probably gone straight out for a cigarette. Wouldn't surprise me. Finds these races very stressful. And of course we've Dark Mayhem joining us, which is great. So we'll get to everyone in a sec. Might just make sure all your audio is shared, lads. We've a different podium than usual. And we'll get underway in 2 seconds.
I think while we're waiting for K-Flemo, Cav, why don't you take a Dark Mayhem?
Absolutely.
We'll get to the podium then.
Are you there, Dark?
Aye.
How are you, mate? You're very welcome.
Good, cheers.
How'd you find that? This is obviously your third race, right?
Second there.
Second, of course, you missed the first weekend. How'd you find Monza? Good result for you, obviously, in the end?
It wasn't too bad, a lot of safety cars, but just had to keep it consistent, but not too bad. Just kept it tidy.
Yeah, great stuff, and obviously good to score a couple of points. Tell us a little bit, Dark, about your own background in the game. Are you playing it long? Are you new to league racing, that sort of thing?
But league racing, new. I've probably the first league I've been in.
Wow,
but
okay.
Been playing for about probably 3 years or so.
Okay, cool. And first league to be in, so you finding the jumping standard like you expected it to be, or you find it maybe a bit harder?
A lot harder. A lot harder than I thought it would have been. It's hard to get any type of qualifying laps anyway. Hard enough.
Great stuff. And are you enjoying it so far?
It's good crack,
Good stuff. Good stuff. And what about the rest of the season? What are you hoping to do? Are you on wheel or controller, first of all?
I'm on controller.
Okay. And what are you hoping to, I suppose, achieve? I mean, obviously every race, I assume you feel like you're getting a bit more consistent, a bit stronger. What are you hoping to be by the end of the season? Just maybe competing for points, or how far do you think you can go?
I probably am sort of points, sort of mid-table, sort of your 7s to 10s sort of range. Probably not quick enough to go up any higher.
Great stuff. Brilliant stuff. Well, listen, thanks for coming in. Nice, obviously, to meet the new drivers, and well done your first points in LOI. Hopefully it won't be your last.
Thank you.
Very well done to you, Dark Mayhem. Now, moving on to our podium. Our first one, of course, being Kay Flemo, making a habit of those solid positions. A P3 for you. Flemo, how are you feeling after that one?
Good, yeah. Happy with the podium, bud.
Yeah, now going on to your qualifying first, P4. It was a solid one. Do you think there was any more time left in it for you, or did you take everything?
Yeah, no, I thought I had a bit more time, but I was there's a good bit of traffic on every lap I had, but happy enough to get in the low 20s.
Yeah, and so moving on now to the race. Did you think so? Was there a mistake from you on the first lap, or was it just maybe pace you couldn't keep up with the lads, or surely there was like some sort of mistake there? What happened there in the first
lap?
couple laps?
I don't know. What happened on the first lap?
You dropped about
3 seconds behind, yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I just literally, I think someone spun in front of me and I ghosted through them.
Right.
I stopped, and I didn't know if they were going to ghost, so I was quite lucky, to be honest.
That's fair enough. And
the setup I had was terrible for the race. I was running 2-0. I regret it now. Yeah, I couldn't turn the bastard.
I think 2-0, like when you get to that level, you may as well just go 0-0 and say fuck it. It's a token 2 turns of front wing, but however.
Look, I'll take the podium. I thought I had Nolan at the end there, but I didn't get him. I didn't make the stick.
Yeah, it was very close there at the end. So championship hopes, let's talk about that. P4, P3, fairly decent positions. Do you think you can maybe challenge for that championship?
No comment.
No comment.
Oh,
perfect.
wow.
So it's not a very confident Flemo so far, but
no, I'm just taking it race by race and
fair enough,
steady and just doing better than last season. I think I've triple times more points than last season already.
That's a start, isn't it? There we go. But moving on to next week. Now, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I know what's next week. So.
Hungary, Josh.
Hungary. Oh,
Hungary.
Hungaroring.
Hungaroring. You a fan of that, Flemo?
No, I'll probably be in the wall, I'd say.
Right.
I'd say so. Well, like everyone else. How many people finished that race tonight?
11.
It's like you couldn't get into a fucking flow at all. Like,
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I think we had about 10 racing laps. Like, it was a fucking joke.
Yeah, wasn't very good anyway. But well done on the podium, Flemo.
Cheers. Well done to the other two lads. And Nolan, sorry if I threw that in, but I had to.
So, speaking of Nolan, why
Chat
don't
to you,
you
boys.
get on to Nolan now, Cav? Thank you, Cav. Flemo.
Mr. Nolan, how's that? Are you sweating?
I am, boy.
Hey, good stuff. Well, listen, we'll start as we always do at the start. Pole position. Was there much more in that lap? I hope there wasn't, or you may end up in tier 2. What was going on?
I don't even know. I think I was lucky to hammer that final lap in now. I thought I would have been. I was lucky. Yeah, 19s now. I was happy enough.
Yeah, and was that kind of the lap time you were hoping to do?
Oh Jesus, above board even.
Yeah.
In the low 20s all week, and I just that lap came out of nowhere.
Fantastic. Great when it comes together, obviously. And then into the race, obviously you up and down race at times. A couple of nice moves we caught on stream as well. But tell us about it from your perspective.
Oh God, it's just sweat dripping out of me. I'm trying not to.
Great stuff.
That was that one big mistake in me.
Yeah, and how did you find it with all the safety cars? It must have been very difficult, I suppose, to one, keep temping the tyres, but two, find your kind of momentum or, you know, your rhythm each time.
You know, them safety cars kind of sorted me out. I got a couple of the lads there now on before the second safety car came out, and I don't think I'd have found as many positions if that many safety cars didn't come out, to be honest.
Yeah. Very good. And we noticed you a couple of times into turn 1. You were braking earlier than everyone else, but you were getting them on the exit then at 2. Was that something you were consciously doing, or was it just the way it was working out?
Yeah, I'm always wary, especially just from all the online lobbies and stuff. I'm always wary about braking too late for turn 1. Like, it's better to get a good exit than than to be late on the brakes and miss the whole corner.
Exactly, yeah. And I suppose then looking forward, first of all, in terms of the championship, you've had a rough enough start, obviously, with just the P7 so far, albeit you've obviously been in contention pretty much in every race. What are you hoping to achieve this season, or what are you looking to do going forward?
Jeez, don't even know, to be honest. Just keep going with the good points there now and try not to make the same stupid mistakes that I do every week and bin it.
Yeah, and looking forward then to Hungary next week. How do you feel about that? Track you like?
Yeah, quite.
Good. So you're confident? Mike, be up here and talking to us again, please, God?
I hope so.
Good stuff. Well, LOI Nolan, or King Papa, or whatever you refer to yourself as these days.
I think I might go back to the old names.
We did. We missed King Papa on the chat, I have to say. It was it rolled off the tongue. Great stuff. Well, if you do change it to King Papa, we'll refer to you as the guy formerly known as LOI Nolan, so you're not going to win either way. But listen, well done today, and obviously we'll hopefully be talking to you next week.
Nice one, man. Cheers.
Thanks, Nolan. And over to you, Josh, for a man we're well used to talking to at this stage. Jesus.
Oh yeah, Mr. Bluefoot. Jesus. Some first 3 races you're having. Let's talk about this one first of all. You're qualifying. You managed to get P2. Was there much more time left in that lap, or do you think you extracted everything possible?
I was a bit weary going into the S's towards the end of the lap, so I was kept kind of dropping down time a bit. But I was the same throughout the whole race. But quality overall, I was pretty pleased with. I didn't think I'd be up in P2. I was kind of aiming for top 7 realistically, but P2 I was happy with when I crossed the line.
Yeah, and then your start, of course. Walk us through that. How that came about.
Yeah, just kind of getting the tyres warmed up before we start, and I know Nolan got disqualified when he was pulling up to the grid spot, so kind of had a slight advantage on him there, but just got a good reaction off on the line, brought the revs up slowly and paid off. But I actually got an illegal overtake for some reason when I made the move, so I had to actually slow down, let him pass a little bit, and then I just went up the inside and made the move stick.
Very good. And then you had to make a call on the safety cars. I'm sure it was a tricky call. There was a lot of safety cars, and what was your thoughts maybe on this first safety car? Were you tempted to go in the first safety car? I know you faked a few people out. You faked me and Cav out anyway on the comps. But what were your thoughts when the safety cars came out?
I was considering going in, but I was like, I felt like I was racing for longer than 4 laps. So when I got around to the pits, I was like, no, 4 laps on mediums. They definitely have a bit of life in them, and I had really good pace on them, so I stayed out. Tried to duke Nolan in, but he stayed out as well. So it kind of, when I saw a few other people staying out, it kind of reassured me that I made the right decision. But yeah, there's just a lot of safety cars, so it was all kind of judging which ones to pitch during and which ones not to.
Yeah, and you controlled the race nicely anyway. And so looking at the championship as a whole, you're going to take the lead. Not sure by how many points, but you're going to take it anyway. You have a P2, a P6, and now a P1. So in your first few races in the league, it's not too bad at all. What are your hopes now for the championship? Do you want to take it away?
Yeah, I'm kind of going for it now. I have a lot of confidence, as I was saying to you towards the start. Once I get a bit of confidence, I'm kind of getting into a roll. So I'd love to win it now. I'm feeling like I could easily do it.
Yeah.
Well, not easily, but I feel like I could definitely do it. But yeah, it's just all about being consistent. Just show up for every race and perform well.
Staying out of trouble, yeah.
Little mistakes.
Exactly. And lastly, moving on to the next race, which is Hungary. How confident are you around there?
Not too bad around there, but I always struggle with a bit of overheating in the tyres for some reason. I could just never sort it out, so I'm going to be spending a lot of time sorting out setups for the next 7 days before the race, so hopefully I'll have it sorted by then. But other than that, yeah, I'm pretty quick around there, have decent pace. But again, one mistake and there's wall right there.
Exactly.
It's not really like Monza, so
yeah,
looking forward to it though.
That's very good. Well, thank you, Bluefoot, and well done to the rest of the podium. And of course, thank you very much to Andy for coming on with us, our analyst.
Yep.
And,
thank you, Andy.
Thank you very much for that. And that has been us. That has been me and Cav for this week. Do tune in again on Sunday next week. We'll be racing in Hungary. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you once again. Goodbye.
Good night, folks.